All right, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. It's me, Normal Corey, and I'm back here again. And I wanted to show you my current DJ setup. I have everything set up in a way that I believe you should be able to see everything from my phone screen. Have it angled a little bit more. My phone screen, which I have Djay Pro, set up to the Bluetooth right here with my DDJ Flex 2 Alpha Theta, which I think is the same company as Pioneer. Then we have the USB-C of the iPhone that's running directly into the back of the MPC. And then I did some MIDI mapping with the MPC Live 3, which I'll show you. I was going to say I've been feeling pretty inspired by the Slab, and that's by Serato DJ. And I've been watching a lot of tutorials about that. What I've done with this MIDI controller setup isn't exactly that, but I was inspired by it. And it was cool. It's been cool to learn about it. I think everything that the Slab can do that I've seen, basically the MPC Live 3 can do as far as remixing, it's like a remixing machine, but this controller right here is an amazing controller and it can do a lot of things. But basically I've just been trying over the past couple of days to try to just put it on steroids, learn the Djay Pro software. It's all on this little tiny screen. It's difficult to see, so just trying to expand it here. Then we have the outs, the 1 and 2 out running into the Octatrack, and my friend EasyBot, he has a performance template on there, so I can run that through that. So yeah, please like and subscribe if you appreciate what I'm doing. Yeah, please check out other videos that I've done. I really love these devices. I make music every single day. Oh yeah, and then I have the outs running out of here into my DJI little lav mic that's running directly into my second iPhone. Because this iPhone has USB-C, but the iPhone that I'm filming from has the Lightning connection, but my DJI Lav has the connection for both. So my thought is we'll use the USB-C, and that makes things easier. I think I wouldn't be able to do the USB MIDI with the other phone either. So I think this is the best option for now. I would love to get another iPhone or a device like a camera that has USB-C audio in. I don't know, just this setup right here. I have my nice camera doing the DJing, which I guess that's what's most important for this. So yeah, please like and subscribe if you appreciate what I'm doing on this channel. Also check out my website. I've been really trying to hone in my website. I offer classes on how to make music with the MPC Live 3. I had a Google Calendar set up for that. I'll try to put a link down below, but also it's just work to, meet people at Starbucks, meet people at cafes, and set things up that way. And I've actually learned a lot from those classes that I've done with people as well. Please comment below if you have any advice on these devices. Yeah, let's jump right into it. There's a little bit of complexity. I did this tutorial with not quite as complex, just with the iPhone, the MPC Live 3, and with the Alpha Theta DDJ Flex 2. And I was at Anytime Fitness, and I couldn't get the Ableton link to work, which is what syncs up everything on the MPC Live 3 with everything that's going on the phone. I've been able to do that really easily here at home, but I have a much more stable Wi-Fi connection, and Anytime Fitness doesn't have a great Wi-Fi connection, so that's good. But I did do a live show where I was in a backyard where I did a full DJ set, and the Ableton link did work, and I had this setup, not quite as complex as the MIDI mapping, but somewhat. So my wonder, I can't remember what exactly happened there. I think I had one good connection that was going into my phone, and then I was able to do the hotspot in the MPC Live 3. So my wonder is, I think you probably actually need one good internet Wi-Fi connection for this to work, which is a bummer because when you're outside, you don't always have a good connection. But On the flip side, you could just change the tempo on the MPC Live 3, and then it would automatically change it on the Octatrack, which that's another thing that I'm kind of confused about. I think the MIDI protocol coming from the iPhone and the Alpha Theta is different than whatever's running into the MPC Live 3 and the Octatrack. And even though the USB-C is plugged in, I would hope that that connection could just control everything. I haven't figured that out. Please comment below. Please help please help me if there is a way to do it. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. I'm really worried about copyright. I always want to do, you might be able to see me when I'm down here. I'm really worried about copyright. So when we go into, let's do it to the side. So when we go into the MPC, or when we go into the DJ software, I actually looked up royalty-free dance music, and there were dance albums, but there weren't actually dance playlists. So I was having this issue that, how should I go over this? So let's start out and let's just talk about this Alpha Theta DDJ Flex 2 controller and the great things that it can do. It's got the crossfader, as does this Octatrack here. But the great thing is we'll load this song in and we'll play and we'll see if we can hear it. Let's see if, oh yeah, very cool. And then we can pause it. Let's load up the next song. We can fade into it. But up here we have the lows, the mids, the highs, and all of these things in here. We have the scrub deck. We can change the tempo. You can press beat sync. But also, if you want, you can set up, if you're in the first screen, you're just in the cues. Wait, that's wrong. Yeah, see there, if you press Q and select it, it's going to give you a cue. If you press Shift, it's going to get rid of that cue. There should be a way, oh yeah, Shift plus beat sync. See, it starts out in hot cue, but we can go over to pad FX. Let's press play. That's pretty fun. And then over here we have the filter, which is great. If we go here, it gives us the looper. So then it turns off the looper, press this, and now we're in the sampler. So there is a sampler. Let's listen to the sounds. Not. I think this is just some, if we click on the sampler, yeah, this is just funk and breaks, but you could go in and add this deep house one. But what I notice is, since it's, this controller is nowhere as good as the MPC Live 3, but that's cool to know that there's a sampler in there. Who knows, I might use that at some point. I think there's probably a little bit more functionality in here that I haven't quite figured out, but that's a lot right there. And also, so let me show you. So we can actually, the way that we would connect the MIDI controller is we click on this little DJ button up here, go to modes, and up here to the right, we have the ports of the MPC showing up, but we have the actual, this is where we would click on and connect, see via Bluetooth, the DDJ Flex 2. And if we go to settings here, and we go down to MIDI devices, and we clicked on the DDJ Flex 2, whenever you move a button, it'll show you what it is and it'll show you what's on there. So then you can go in and you can change those really easily. It is all on the phone, which is a little bit complicated, but it's cool that it's there, and that's how you would do that. on the DDJ, and you could take this little thing and, you know, whenever I first got it, I was doing the stems here, but I started doing the stems over here. Okay, so, all right, pretty simple, right, guys? Pretty simple. So you could totally do this. There's also a headphone out here. I could do everything from my phone. I do bring this to work every day. I'm a barista, Cafe Solis in the U District, and I could just set this up and start making beats. Not making beats, but it's really cool because there's also this auto mix functionality. If you go to modes, it's auto mix. So when I click on auto mix, it has you select a playlist, and it does like, it mixes it in and out on its own. If you've selected cue points, it makes it even better. But what I find is that, you know, when we're baristas, people are generally playing Spotify, but it's really nice whenever we get to use something like this because the quality is just really high. Yeah, and you know, it's pretty fun when I look out in the cafe and like everybody's dancing when they should be studying. That makes me really happy. Okay, so let's click here. Let's start to talk about going from just using this to also using the MPC Live 3. I think, well, let's do one thing and then we'll talk about the Octatrack because that's more simple, but then we'll go back to the MPC Live 3. So if we click here and we go into settings, we go down here, we click on Ableton Link. Okay, so it says that it shows up. So what you would need to do in the MPC would be go to MIDI sync, and you would want the receive to be Ableton Link. So now, let's see if this works. So this song, it says, is in 140. So it waits till the 1 to start. So I do believe that actually would be helpful for if I'm doing remixes and things like that. But the other thing that's really great for is whenever I press play, is that it's also playing in time with the Octatrack. So what I have going on in the Octatrack, everything's running into it and out it, and the MIDI out of the MPC Live 3 is going into the Octatrack. In order to set that up, you have to go to MIDI sync, and I have the send and receive set up on all of them. The audio in and out, yeah. So you have to have that up. It's probably pretty hard to see this screen. That's one downside of the Octatrack, but I'll show you here. So whenever you go click on the parts, my friend EasyBot, he made this pretty cool set. So we're in build mode. So whenever we press B, each of these sequences are different scenes. So when we go from A to B on the crossfader, it gives us these different effects. Which is really awesome whenever you're which is really awesome whenever you have everything synced up. It's really nice, and what I find is that even though this is a really limited setup, I did a sorority party recently in the U District, and everybody was dancing really hard, and the music was provided by the person who was their birthday party. But what I found is that like upping my skills with this right here is that I already have a history of music production, and this stuff is like pretty complicated. There's actually a simplicity to the DJing side, so maybe what my hope is that I can do professional DJing because this is like the foundation of it, and then more of the, whenever I'm able to do the effects and go in and I can just have a lot of fun, and I was vibing, and I found that other people were really vibing too. So here's one thing that I'll say too, because I did a party for Halloween, and that was really cool because it was just a really cool party, and there was a live band, and I got to open for them, and also whenever they did intermission. But at that point in time, what I had realized is that you could DJ off Djay Pro with Apple Music. You can't do it with Spotify from your phone, but you can do it from Apple Music. And I was like, that's cool. I like Apple Music. Apple Music plays their artists the most. But then what I realized is that if you use Tidal and you get the DJ extension, then you can do stems, which is really crazy. So I did my first show for Halloween, not my first DJ set ever, technically my second DJ set ever. I used Apple Music without the stems. Truth is, honestly, everybody was dancing really, really hard. And that felt really good, how hard everybody was dancing. It was essentially this setup, but no stems. Also not as extensive of MIDI mapping. Also, what I found is that in the intermission, when I had plugged and unplugged my phone, I actually had to turn my phone on and off to get the audio to send out into the MPC Live 3 again, which was a bummer, but I'll know that from now on. I can fix that, troubleshoot that more quickly. But yeah, so here, I'm using Tidal Music. I would highly suggest if you're capable and you have Djay Pro, use Tidal Music, because the next show that I did for the birthday party, all the music, even though I creatively didn't pick the music that I was playing, having the ability to chop music up and curate it, really, really cool. The other thing that I want to talk about is if we go in here to settings and we go to our library, you have the ability to, it has the format. You have just C major. This is how when I first opened DJ, how it comes. It made me really sad. Everything is set up in major. That's not how so whenever you're using the MPC Live 3, everything is set up in major and minor. And then there's some other scales in there too. But what's really great is that it has the numerical DJ wheel. So in Collusion, whenever I'm doing my own original music, I've been using the DJ wheel on the MPC Live 3 to do my music, but it's really great whenever we get the DJ wheel and we can just literally physically see it here on the screen of the iPhone, because, you know, my friend, it was her birthday. She gave me 50 songs, and then I was able to map it out with the DJ wheel, and that just, I just was left having so much fun. And when you're mixing in between songs that way, it just sounds really, really good. Okay, I'm trying not to get too distracted, but there is somewhat of a complexity to DJing, and it's been 2 months of me really taking it seriously. So yeah, again, check out my website, normalcorey.com. I'm trying to get myself ready for wedding season because I want to do wedding DJing, but I'm also down to do corporate events. I'm also down to do clubs. I'm down to do whatever. I just really love DJing, and it's really fun. I was also inspired before Halloween. I went to a party that was like a little bit before Halloween, and the power went out. I was out in Bellevue, Washington, and I always bring my MPC Live 3 with me. I've been bringing this with me too. But the cool thing about it is that I show up at this party, everybody's wearing crazy clothes, but it's deathly quiet. Everybody's talking, but it's really quiet in there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have my MPC Live 3. So I just loaded that up and I was playing my own original beats. But now with this combination of things, it would be really easy to just load up and just start playing music. It's a great thing about this. It has a 3-hour battery life. So yeah, if the power goes out, I can start making music. I can power the DD Flex 3 with my charger here, and that would last a pretty long time too. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's start getting into the more complex weeds that I've been getting into, and let's do it. Everything sounds funny, but we'll just go through, and then maybe I'll just like DJ a little bit with these funny royalty-free songs. Just for fun and just to see what we can get out of it. I'm gonna check my camera to make sure it's still going. Cool, I got my backup camera. I think it should have enough memory. I've deleted a lot. I don't shoot a lot of videos on it. Okay, so first of all, we'll talk about my failure because, how should I do this? I don't wanna go back and I don't wanna get hit with copyright, but what I did have, so if we click here, starting up on the top, okay, how do I explain this to everybody? Because it's gonna kind of confuse me too. What I'll say is that I have 2 pages of effects. It's unfortunate because the MIDI out from the MPC Live 3, I actually really don't understand it. I really don't understand the knobs. I just don't freaking understand it, to be honest. But what you have to do is you have to load up the MIDI track. You have to press MIDI port 1. And then over here in the scale mode on the track, I just go ahead and set it to C major, and you have to press continuous to where you don't have overlapping notes whenever you switch between the banks. So I have 2 banks of the 16 notes going. One thing that's unfortunate about the phone too is that it'll turn off when you're not focusing on it for a little bit. It's not doing anything. Okay. So these 2 screens, they have different things on both of them. What I'll say on both sides, there's the functionality that you have deck 1, you have deck 2. Okay, before we get to that, before we get to all of that really confusing things, on audio track 2 we have in, and then we click, we have USB in 1 and 2. So from this track here, this is where everything's coming in, whether it's this side or this side, they're both going into the same exact track, and then that track is going out into the Octatrack, and then that out is going into my DJI mic. Now, what I did figure out today is because you have multiple USB outs, you can actually do external mixer. We click here, and we go to settings, and we go to audio device. We could technically click external mixer instead of internal, but we won't do that. And then technically, that gives us more tracks that each deck would be on each individual track in here, which would give us more effects in the MPC Live 3. But what I will say is that the crossfader in here, I would love it if the crossfader, because you have a crossfader functionality here, I would really love it if the crossfader functionality would be able to control the crossfader here, because the crossfader has like a tempo change that I really like, that I wish that you had in the MPC crossfader. But yeah, let's just try to get into this. This video is a lot of me rambling, and it's getting pretty long. So yeah, for both of these tracks, I want it in the bottom right corner. There's different effects that are going on each of these 16 pads, but bottom right corner, this is deck 1, and then the second one is deck 2. So whichever one I've collected, the effects are going to be affecting whichever deck I'm on. So let's go here, and basically, I think what I want to design too, I do want to design a preset that I don't need this device or this device, and I could just do things like I could DJ just from the MPC Live 3. It's a heavy device, and you want to minimize things as much as you can, but at least right now, the setup, it's like I want to maximize what's going on here. So, yeah, so there's deck 1, deck 2. Maybe before we get into it, I'll show you how to map it before I show you everything. So what you would do is you would go in here, and you would click on MIDI devices, and then we go to MIDI device port 1, and then whichever one I click, you have to make sure that, I noticed that even if in here that I have aftertouch turned off, I have to press it to full level. If I don't, then it's gonna take in that aftertouch information. But let's click here, boom. So it says general, select deck 2, boom, select deck 1. Let's go to the second screen, boom, select deck 2, boom, select deck 1. But why I did that is because whether I'm going between 1 or 2, I'm thinking so you have up to 8 different banks of these pads of MIDI. So I'm thinking that I'm probably going to go in and do all of them. And when I go through and do all of them, I want it to be able to select between the 2 different decks. You have a 4-deck optionality, so maybe I could have the 4 decks be on the bottom. But I think I want to be able to really easily switch between decks because, I don't know, I just don't want things to be too confusing. Like, this is really easy right here because you have deck 1, deck 2, all of these effects are deck 1, all of these are deck 2. For me to put them all on the same of 16 pads, it's a sacrifice in that I might get confused on which deck that I'm on. But I think if both decks are right here, it almost means that, because I was like, oh, I could scroll between each bank for each deck, but I was like, this actually seems simpler somehow. Trying to maximize space. So yeah, we have that, we have that. Let's just go through all of them really quick and show what I have loaded in. So here we have, I changed it to previous source, but initially it was select previous track. And whenever I was scrolling through playlist, it was working quite fine. And then this one's load to deck 1, this one's load to deck 2. So that was actually working really good because whenever I was DJing, it's really hard to look in close to the screen. But when you would do this, it would get nice and big. But now that I'm not in a playlist, it wasn't working, but I won't get too caught up on that. This one right here is toggle library expanded. So the library gets big. This one's still working, and I'll show you that. This one's key match. This one's down a key. So key match would just match it to the other deck. This is key plus. So this is, if I just want to like play around the key and make it more or less, I can do it that way. This right here is pitch bend. So whenever you do pitch bend, it changes the tempo as well. So this is pitch bend up. This right here is sync. So sync and then set, sync, master. I actually don't super know the difference between them. But this one is reset tempo if anything gets weird. This one is tempo plus, and I'm realizing now that I'm looking at it, I need to change that to something else. That's just a wasted. I had tempo plus and minus, but it was such a, it wasn't useful because the tempo was going up and down so slowly that it actually wasn't really useful. So let's go over to the second page. So yeah, we have over here, select the decks. Right here, we have auto loop on. And then when that auto loop is on, here we have half the auto loop. Here we have double the auto loop. I actually like it when these are set up to like 1/4, like 1/8, 1/4, 1/2, 1, 2 bars, 4 bars, 8 bars. And this is really good for like, even just using this as a sampler or remixer. This is kind of like slab territory. And probably maybe this next bank, that's what I'll end up doing, but I don't have all the time in the world. I gotta work in the morning, so I guess I'll have to do that in the morning. But this works fine too, and this takes up way less space on the pads. This is toggle the waveform. This might not be useful. I'll probably take this away. It zooms it in and out, not really that useful. Here is move the in, here's move the out. This is actually pretty cool because then you can create like weird polyrhythms. This is auto loop 8, auto loop 16. This is residual of I initially had 16 bars, 8 bars, 4 bars. But then I was like, you know what, let's do the auto loop, and it seemed to work better. So these probably can be changed. Here we have the neural mute. This will bring out the drums. This will bring out the bass. This will bring out the, basically mute the harmonics, and this will mute the vocals. For this royalty dance music, there's not a lot of vocals. I had this set up earlier to these knobs, and I think doing it on knobs, and if I could figure out the MIDI knobs actually, I tried setting up the knobs and it was acting glitchy, but this works fine. You just can't see it, but you can hear it. And I think it's cool too for looping. I know that there's, as I'm mapping, I know there's like much deeper functionality on what I'm doing. So here we have skip beats forward 4 bars, skip beat forward, backwards 4 bars, and this is 4 bars. So that's cool. So yeah, maybe let's go through them and I'll show you the functionality more. So yeah, so we select A, and then, the loop is on. And that makes sense because I was doing a bunch of stuff. So if we go here, it turns it off. Boom, turns the auto loop back on. Let's scroll down. Let's half it. Yeah, so it was a really long auto loop, and then you can make it really, really small. But if we click B, now we're on the second deck there. And we can half it really small, make it really big as we want, turn it back off. Let's press play. And let's see it. Oh, here's the zoom, the waveform. So now the waveform out. Yeah, I don't really need that. I actually like it like this. I thought if I would zoom it, it would make it easier for me to get it on tempo, but let's see. Then we do the filter. We could take out the drums. Yeah, okay, cool. So then turn that off, turn the drums back on. Here's the loop in, loop out. Do it here. We can go as long as we want. Half the length. Turn it back off. See, we can do it as short as we want. And then we could fade into the next song. But it's at the end, so let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to deck 1. See, for some reason I had taken all these things out, but I couldn't see it. So that's a really cool thing. And if we go here, this was 4 bars and this is longer bars. Then we can half it. Yeah, but I really like the filter on here. If we go in here, there's the XY effects. And those work there. But we could also go here and do the... So that's what's cool too, is that you have all these loopers, and essentially, if you go to scene 16 on any of these banks, it's gonna give you a looper too. It's set up to 1 bar. So that's really cool too. So you have a looper there. So I know there's a looper in the MPC Live 3. That's a lot of loopers. Wow, that's a lot of loopers. But yeah, let's press play again. And what was this one? This one was, yeah, forward and backward. That might be helpful if you have, let's pause it. That might be more helpful. Let's pause this one. It's stressing me out. It's looping really fast. Maybe, yeah, I don't know why you would need to loop forward and backward. Honestly, I thought that I could push the loop forward or backward. Might be a way to do that. We'll have to test it out. Let's go to screen 1 and let's check out some more of these things. So yeah, this was deck 1, deck 2. This one was reset. So this one was something that isn't important. Yeah, so we turn the sync off, and if we were to like really mess with it, press here, it's a good reset. Set the sync back up. This one is the master sync. So then the next song will play at the tempo of this one. See this one? Keys are really fast. It's like a tape delay effect. Let's go over to the second deck and let's scroll over. Let's go back here. It's really easy to turn the loop off. Turn the filter off though. And we're gonna go back. So yeah, we have, see it's changed the pitch, making it go faster. But that's also a really quick way to just scroll through songs too. And then here is, I can turn the pitch up as much as I want really fast. But this button right here will match it. This button right here brings up my, basically the songs that we had. But let's see if it works here. See, it's working, but it's because, oh, yeah. That messed up because I actually changed Let's go back to title. Yeah, so whenever we're in this just album, it doesn't work. But basically I had this all set up to really easily switch through songs, and it was working good, but it's glitchy with albums. But I couldn't find any royalty-free playlist on title. So we won't worry about that. Maybe I'll just, let's see what time we have on the video. Okay, we have 35 minutes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna DJ for fun for like 5 minutes, and then we'll wrap the video up. So let's see, it makes me pick it this way. I have to pick deck 1 or 2 like this, which makes it way harder, but who cares? Let's freaking go for it, okay? So it says the link is off, but good thing is it'll show you. You can just reset it. It says it's back. Yeah, okay, well I think that's good enough. And what I didn't show you is that you can have momentary effects all up here, which can kind of recreate what's going on here. Oh yeah, we could also do the AB here. The XY effects, and if you go here to go out of MIDI mode, we go here to delay control. You basically have the same beat repeat thing as well. So yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, we're at about 41 minutes. Yeah, pretty simple setup, right? Pretty simple setup. I hope you're able to see the screen. Love to do more live streams. I think if I can find a playlist, or I'll probably have to make my own playlist of royalty-free music, and then I'll be able to use the functionality where it's way easier when you can pick the songs up here from the deck. Got to be careful to do the deck 1 versus deck 2 because you'll start and stop the song wrong. But yeah, I have plenty of beat repeats. I have plenty of effects. I can add even more effects here. Let me know, comment below if you would like for me to share any of these templates that I've been working on and been creating. Specifically, the mapping of the MPC is actually done on my iPhone. But I did save it as a file, so we'll see if before I load the video, if I have the ability to post it and have it as a link, so you could just download it to Djay Pro, and then you could just download this set that I did, and everything should just work for you right away. And it's set up to where the Octatrack, unfortunately you would have to get an Octatrack and download EasyBot's performance template, which is definitely worth it. I would highly shout out that and suggest that. But yeah, please like and subscribe if you appreciate what I'm doing. Check out my website if you're someone who needs a DJ for any kind of event. Just growing and learning and trying to be professional as I can. If you just have any parties or anything going on in Seattle, just let me know. I would love to use my services. This is really great for even my own music. You know, I did a live set here in Seattle for a show with hardware synthesis, and I just didn't even use any of the DJ stuff. I just used the MPC with the Octatrack, and it gives me a better understanding of everything. But even with that, I've thought about, you know, whenever I load my music into all the streaming platforms, it definitely loads up to Tidal. And so then technically I could take any of the songs that I've made and use the stems to basically DJ my own music live with all the effects. So that's something that I've thought about doing as well, because what I would say that's crazy is that Djay Pro on the phone is way better than the stems on the MPC Live 3. And being able to DJ and have it, I think the USB 3 audio is a huge upgrade, but my ability to sample has definitely gone way up with this setup here. So even though what I'm showing you tonight is about DJing, I'm also thinking about it as a producer. And that's why all of this really was, this video right here was inspired by Slab, by Serato Studio, and the people who have been doing videos about it, on it. I think that that's really, really cool. And basically some of that workflow, I was like, you know, I should try to map Djay Pro to do those things in the MPC, because the MPC, once you have the Ableton link set up, it's compared to, I think compared to any other device, it's such an amazing sampler that it means that you're able to remix things really easily. And what, you know, when I think about music, I think about rhythmically, melodically, there's all of these layers, and there's all these layers to untangle, but it's kind of as deep as you want to go. And when it comes to this sampler, it's inherently very layered, and you can go as deep as you want to go with it. So yeah, please like and subscribe. Check out my website, normalcorey.com. Check me out on Instagram too. Been doing a lot of remixes there. Yeah, I want to be really careful about copyright here on YouTube. But I want to post more live mixes and stuff too. So thank y'all so much for your support, and I will definitely be seeing you soon. Thank you.